5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch, episode 135, opening EPL day. Chad, what is going on?
Here we are. Already. Drama, excitement, disappointment, maybe. I don't know. It's only match day 1.
I can't say I was worried about content for match day 1, but this is just like, okay, how are we going to top this in week 2?
My God, yeah. If week 2 is just so stale, I'm so sorry, everybody. But week 1 is just full of shock and awe.
Shock and awe on shock.
And silence.
And big silence. But maybe not now. Maybe we're getting loud in the locker room. I really don't know anymore. But let's jump into it. Should we start with the ugly and then work our way to the pretty stuff? Because I think the ugly stuff is the hot topics.
The ugly stuff is definitely more to dive into there than the pretty stuff. So
okay, well, I'm gonna pick a couple uglies here, and I'm gonna let you decide which ugly you want to talk about. First ugly, Hull United, Brighton Villa, Brentford Tottenham. We'll start there. I think that's a solid 3 uglies, and then we'll break down the ugly ones here. Which one do you want to go with?
I think it feels fitting to do the Hull United since it was for us that very early morning game. I don't know anyone that woke up for it. We just woke up to the scoreline.
I talked to a United fan later in that day, so we'll break it down. But to start, having a spin drift, popping it open now.
Beautiful.
It's a little thirsty.
Still on the water here, but
you hydrate.
It's an Arsenal bottle, so
I go World Cup koozie today. All right, you hit me with your thoughts, Thirst. Give me the overall moment of when you discovered what had happened at 4:30. I guess it was more like 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of going back and forth on waking up for it just because it was first weekend, get as much of the games in as I can. But those 4:30 ones are just so rough. And I think like most people, I expected a easy United win here. So I was like, okay, well, I'll pass that one and wake up for the next round was like 7 a.m. or something game.
Yep.
So, woke up a little bit before that. Go check the score. I kind of had to like double take it, honestly, just to make sure I saw it right. It wasn't still sleepy eyes,
Yeah.
And wow, what a surprise! And going and actually watching the highlights, I think surprise might be the wrong word. It definitely caught United by surprise, but Hull showed up. They were ready to go.
1738.
That's it.
Similar storyline for us over here. I did wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I forgot to feed Kristen sourdough starter, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta go do that. So I was up and I was thinking, I was like, do I just stay up and force myself to watch this? I was like, no, I'm too tired. Like, it should be a beat down. Wake up at exactly 7. I check my phone literally first and I go, Kristen, Hull beat United. She goes, who United? And I was like, no, Hull beat United. She's Hull what? I was like, Hull City beat United. Her eyes like went like this. It was just like a funny thing to wake up to. And then I checked the scoreline and said, wow, this is what happened here. I mean, possession, United killed it 72-28. More XGs, more shots, more touches in the opposition box, but Hull City had a double agent in Maguire. For those,
you can account for a lot of things, but never the double agent.
Yeah, I mean, this was years in the making. Harry Maguire putting the full Hull on Mazerazwe and said, "You're not going to get to this goal here," and Hull City up. So 100% of the people in our league took United. No surprise, by the way. I mean,
no.
This felt like this was United's easiest entry back into the season, and they fumbled it pretty hard. So now, what's our trust in United like for the rest of the season?
Yeah, obviously they should have won this game on paper, by stats, all of that. I think a lot of teams this weekend just had some like first game jitters. and I can imagine starting your campaign away from home also adds to that a little bit, um, especially when you're going away to a promoted side that hasn't been up here in quite a while.
Hmm.
So those fans are going to be really up for it. Players obviously are very up for it. Um, but I think even overall, like United's play, I think just was not nearly as dominant as we would have expected. Um, I mean, yeah, it doesn't help that Harry Maguire doesn't know who he's defending, or maybe he does,
I
but
would love to
you
get in his
know,
head during that moment because, again, this is everything the Premier League's trying to get rid of is the player grappling. So you're literally
yeah.
doing it to yourself here, and I
Can
think
they call the foul on that like a
they
self foul?
if you slap your own teammate, you're getting the red card. So
Yeah, right. So maybe that's what he was going for. He's like, we're not getting to that ball, so I'm going to foul my teammate.
yep,
They'll call it back.
yep. I'll hold you back.
Yeah, yeah.
Bizarre to say the least. This game, United, I think I was looking at the table for next week. United goes against. Oh, I had it here. Ipswich, and what we saw to Ipswich this week was a pretty good team. So
Yeah.
to go against two relegated teams to start your campaign and like pretty much banking probably a month ago, you're going to start your season off with 6 points. Now I'm like, do we even pull for United in this game? I'm not picking them in my pick 'em because I don't trust.
I'm avoiding that game.
I don't trust United at all now. I need to see what they're going to do. And Ipswich came out with a lot of fire. And I think they're going to play as freely as they can this year. I mean, huge to win that game. And now they get to do it again against United. Like,
Yeah,
it's almost inevitable.
I would think that United goes into it, way more focused, right? Sure, newly promoted, but you already been through that mental space of like it'll be a breeze because we've been here, we know it. They're just coming up. Whereas like Ipswich, yes, newly promoted, but like newly returned, just after a couple of years. So I think Ipswich this season will be a lot tougher than people expect just because they kind of have that experience with them. Um, but shoot, I mean, from what I was seeing in the match highlights, I think we almost got like Portugal Bruno out there where he was, for me, playing way too deep. Trying to I feel like he's almost stepping on the toes of Tielemans behind him now. Like I know that midfield is new. It'll take time to everyone gel and figure out where they want to be, but I need Bruno to stay higher up and kind of be more of that attacking mid. Like Tielemans is creative enough back there to find you or runners with balls. And again, I don't know much about Santos, but presumably he's more defensive minded. I don't know. It felt like it just, I guess, a team that hasn't had enough time to really gel. I guess specifically that midfield, but even though I think some of it is just that first game jitters, like missing easy shots or taking a little bit of wild shot when you could have made a simpler shot. But it's great for everyone. Not United fans, obviously. That poor guy with the hair. I want to say they needed 2 more wins back to back, which should have been this because I think he was pumped up.
I think after this one, they needed 2 more.
Okay, but I think he was pumped up, but that it was this, double relegation start, and now he's back to 0.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, when Rashford came on too, you thought that was going to be a spark. It wasn't. I think this team needs to start Sesko. I think they just need to find a way to plug him in and figure it out. But yeah, the Tielemans and Fernandez duo, seeing it for the first time is like, this is kind of weird. Like, how are you going to make this work if Fernandez wants to drop back that far? And, I saw a lot of highlights of Fernandez trying to be too fancy. I think this team has to keep it simple right now. I expect them to go into this next game and play similar, but probably without as much flair as they're trying to pull off in this.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. Like, score your goal.
That's all you need,
figure it out. Everything will unfold from there. But Ipswich will be a tough task. We'll jump into them in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna go with the next one on my list.
Wait, I have one
Oh,
more.
you got
comment.
one more? Yeah.
Is there anything more humiliating than the whole stadium of whole fans singing "You're getting mauled by the Tigers," doing cat paws at you? It's incredible. I love that.
And then canceling the train to Manchester.
Yeah, they had to be working behind the scenes like,
what's going on there?
Train, we're done. I don't know, but I
Um,
saw them doing that and I was like, this is tight. Like, you see some of the City Evil, turn their back. Whatever. That's lame. Cat paws? Come on.
you love it. You would be right in there doing it with them. I know you would. I love the fan bases right now and the teams who are playing like they have nothing to lose to start the season. It was very the three teams, Ipswich, Hull, and even Fulham today, despite losing, were playing how the Wolves were playing in the middle of the year last year, where it was like, guys, we're probably not going to be in a great spot this season. Let's just go out there and try to make shit happen. And I think Chelsea is pretty lucky to get away with what they got with today. Could have been different either way, but these two teams, coming out strong. To see 2 out of 3 relegated teams come in, or promoted teams come in and get victories, and just Coventry had to go against the champions. Like, it is what it is. Well done.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm hoping they can keep that going. Like, I don't want the 3 up, 3 down. Just make it interesting.
We could get a fresh 3 down.
I feel like the league probably needs it, honestly.
Yeah.
There's some, squads will talk about having dead weight that they carry, and I feel like the league has carried some dead weight here for
a little bit,
a handful of seasons. So.
Need a little refresh. It'd be sweet to get 6 new teams in 2 years.
Oh my god,
we're so due for it. All right, can I get into my? Can we?
Yeah,
and we can do this together, Chad.
Yeah.
$400-ish million has been spent by Tottenham in the last couple months. This opening day, Chad, high hopes for around the league. Going against Brentford, a team they should inspire to be like last year. Right? Yeah. Just got smoked. Tottenham got smoked, Chad. What in the world was that? And people are saying, oh, we didn't have Porro, didn't have Van de Ven, we're going to have Marmouche soon, and Savinho. How are those guys going to plug in and make this team all of a sudden be a top 10 contender?
I get it. Like, some of those players should make your team better. But I feel like a lot of the issue was similar to the last 2 seasons where these players just don't really want to play. Like, so many times I feel like I saw, Brentford playing really well, playing quick, driving on the ball and winning like high turnovers. And then it's just like Tottenham players were just kind of doing a light jog, like not trying to get that ball back right away and just like vary on different levels of pace in the game.
We love this new sprint stat that we're going to be looking at all year. Any guess on who had the most sprints for Tottenham in this game?
For Tottenham? Wow. I would think I'm going to say I guess Tell. I'm going to go Tell.
Old man Andy Robinson.
Just let that guy have a nice paycheck to end his career, please. He doesn't need to be sprinting that much.
He wants to play like this is Liverpool, where it's go. And I do think Tottenham has the capability to do it. Maybe they will when they get their new signings in. But again, we're seeing signings Marmouche and Savinho, who have scored a cumulative of it can't be more than 12 goals in the last 2 seasons. I think I'm overshooting it by a lot. I think so. I'm giving them a plenty of wiggle room here. I want to say it's probably closer to like 7.
Yeah, let me see.
Savinho probably has 2 and Marmouche with 5. And it's mostly league play here. I just can't see those guys making Tottenham better. Slightly better, but not.
Yeah, I think they could.
Like, look at the team.
Offer
the team they put out here was fine. Outside the striker position, which I guess you're going to put Marmouche there. I guess everything else should have kind of fallen into place here. Tonali, shit. Gallagher was probably your best midfielder at this point. Bergvall should have been. Van Hecke, poor. every pass he made. Actually, I'm going to check right now what his passes were because it just looked like he was throwing the ball wherever. So nerves probably, but this was probably the worst showing you could have had for all that money that was spent.
Yeah. And like all that's not to take away from what Brentford did. I think they played it, perfectly and almost just picked up where they left off of last season of being a really strong team at home, especially, but then also just like kind of making games difficult for teams, which I guess you could say the same thing for Tottenham. They picked up where they left off, right? Like I get it. There's players that come in, but I don't know. I mean, all these signings, well, we just said they're definitely smarter and better signings than they've made in the past. I don't know if they're gonna prove to be the signings to stabilize them, right? That's what we were kind of preaching at the end of last season. It's just like take a year to be stable and survive, right? Like you don't gotta be fighting right back up there at the top. I know you're part of the big six and you want to be up there and you got the big stadium, so you feel like you need to, but um I mean, I don't know. It's one game, obviously. Like first game, it's I don't want to judge too harshly, I guess, at this point, but that was perhaps one of the worst showings you could have offered.
If you would have lost 2-1, 1
Yeah.
0, hell, a 3-1, but you scored to make it even at some point in that game, I would have said, all right, there's something there, maybe. But a
Yeah.
3-0 should have been 4, for being
Yeah.
honest. Yikes. And now they go against Newcastle next, which we saw that Newcastle is kind of playing in the same, like, we got nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
Probably should have scored a victory against Liverpool despite one mistake. Well, many
Mhm.
mistakes on Liverpool's end, but Newcastle made a mistake there at the end, and
Yeah.
they should be walking away with 3 points. So next week, Tottenham's going to be a hell no, I ain't touching this team because I don't know what to expect.
We're running out of games you can pick now.
I did my pick'ems just as like a where should we look to get my 6
Yeah.
games in, and it was not easy. So I mean, this week it should have been easier this week too, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, congrats to Tripp for going 5 of 6. I mean, very
Yeah,
impressive to do. The majority of us got half, and
I got one.
and
Maybe two.
Tripp knows ball, but John came in here and got 4 out of 6, and I'm like, maybe that's the strategy. Just close my eyes and pop, 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 pop. See what happens.
Don't think about it too much.
Jeez, man, jeez. All right, last of the big 3, Aston Villa.
Oof.
We've had this talk before. It was about a year ago to date. What's different this year to last year?
Well,
No
they
Emmy.
certainly yeah, sold off some people or they just weren't there, but you know, I don't have a good answer for you.
You just won Europa.
You just won Europa. Like, yeah, you lost Morgan Rogers and yeah, Emmy is there, not there again, like just like last season. Ollie Watkins is, I mean, I guess you could argue the same as last season. He was maybe on the pitch last season, but he didn't score. Yeah.
Garnacho is not the savior you think he's going to be.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Suzuki's going to be a solid keeper, but again, not that keeper. First time in the Premier League, you can't expect him to be bailing you out, kind of how Emmy has been the last decade. Everyone's a year older. Yeah, you're getting Wan-Bissaka. I think that's a solid move, but you already have Matty Cash over there, and they're kind of the same player in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I know last year they went 0 for 3 to start the season, and I could just see a repeat of this year again, especially with an unhappy Ollie Watkins who wants out.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like I just don't see where they really move forward with this. I know they got a good handful of injuries right now, but even then it's like what your closest one to come back is probably Monzombi, who I think will be good, like breathe some life into this team. Um, but who's he gonna play to? Like Ollie Watkins, if he's on his game, sure, but we saw last season he went through quite the dry spell. And again, yeah, if he's kind of stuck here, like he doesn't want to be here anymore, is he gonna be putting in the effort he needs to, or just kind of getting by?
I don't. I mean, if I'm like Atlee, I'm taking him out. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, to disrespect the club like that on opening day, that's a really poor move. And to say they discussed it, he doesn't want to be there. I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
you might just need to hit the. I'm sorry, but like Watkins has been that guy for you for this long. He is 30. Probably get some money for him, and it's
Mhm.
probably time to move on. And then find yourself a replacement striker. I mean, they're floating around. You'll find someone.
Yeah, I
You'll need
saw a rumor of they were looking at Mateta. Um,
go
shoot,
get Nick
there's
Jackson.
I think Jackson made that list too. Like
Okay.
they might have been in for Liam Delop, or at least that I guess any striker that's available, they're kind of open to. But um, yeah, I think they just kind of got to play it safe this year. It's you lost some big pieces. You didn't really reinforce in the way you needed to. I think it's gonna be a survival season. Like I don't think you'll be fighting relegation by any means, but I don't think you're gonna be lighting it up. And look, last season started the same, so I could eat my words here in a few weeks. But um, you know, a, a
I don't
four
think
nil
so.
loss, like already weren't that hot on Brighton going into this, because they again like haven't done too much different, but they looked so much better.
So much better than you. And yeah, the red card. Well, the red card hurt you, but at that point you were losing 4-0. So the red card was
And that's
really
the thing.
irrelevant,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
If anything, that second half from Villa was great, but maybe Brighton just stopped playing with such, urgency and wanting to get more goals. I don't know.
And Brighton's about to get Promised David too, which is, what we've
Yeah.
seen him do is could be special, could be cool to bring him in. Honestly, Villa
Mhm.
should have probably signed him rather than Brighton at this point.
Yeah.
Probably kicking themselves there. Villa goes in next week going against Arsenal. So I think if we had the choice to say, is this season going to start worse than last season? I think I'm on team. Yeah, it's going to be worse. They do go Hull week 3,
Okay.
and then Forest, and then Tottenham. So like, you could have a bounce back. You could.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's happening. I think if whatever happens after that whole game, if it's a loss, Emery could get the can early. I
Is he
really
a vote
think
for
that.
for first sacking?
Let me do a quick peek here.
'Cause it's not a bad shout.
If Carrick can't get it going
Mm.
either, I think they'll be fine against Ipswich. If they lose Everton, lose City, and then see what happens against Fulham, and they go Tottenham October 10th, I think he's up there too. It's probably between those two managers, to be honest. Everyone
Yeah,
else
I
is
feel like
either
that's
too
fair.
new or they just they're in that process of rebuilding.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. It's probably those two are your leading candidates of short-term managerial stints, but um, I'll throw in Oliver Glasner at Forest just because we know that owner likes to
It's true. It's true.
chop and change a lot.
Yeah, and they don't have an easy schedule coming up either. But again, I think those two teams, Tottenham. I feel like Tottenham could lose 7 games in a row, and they're going to stick with De Zerbi for this season because it's like, what else are they
Yeah,
going to get at this point? What else is
I
out
think
there?
I think yeah I think they'll give him adequate time, meaning I guess at least half a season and see from there. I just don't think they don't want to play that relegation fight game again. It's they went out and spent the money. whether good or bad, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I don't think they want to get too caught up in the lower end of the table again. But like you said, I don't know where you go from Deserby.
Bring back Sean Dyche.
You might have to at this point.
Wait, has he been with Tottenham?
I don't think he has. I think there was talk though about it, but then they went to what, Igor Tudor. Is that
Yes, he
his
was
name?
linked in March of 26.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that making a comeback if it's not going well again. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, those are the big L's I think of the weekend that were, I don't want to say,
Yeah.
I mean, kind of shocking. I didn't expect Tottenham to get their asses kicked. I didn't expect
Mhm.
Brighton to do that much. And
Yeah.
then of course whole to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
off our morning it was awesome. Great Saturday. Now my Sunday a little off.
Sunday was a little weird, yeah. But
Jump into team games really quick.
sure, yeah.
Just hit me with Arsenal. Thoughts, happiness.
I mean, yeah, what better way to start the season with a pretty relaxed 3-0 win. Coventry I think looked good up until Arsenal scored their first goal, and then they kind of, I don't know, lost some confidence, I guess. But yeah, I think like this just having Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, White all out there for like what I think was the first time since like December 24 or
Wow.
something is crazy, and it almost makes me think of winning the league last season basically without any three of them consistently. It was like maybe more of a feat than we all realize, but I mean, yeah, Odegaard looks back to his best. I think the World Cup really helped him gain more match fitness, and
Mm-hmm.
as long as he can avoid those like freak injuries that just kept plaguing him last season, and kind of same with Saka and Havertz, like they came off big injuries, didn't really get much time to get up to speed and contribute. So for them to both get a goal here, well, I guess all three of them to get a goal here, I think is great. Start that tally now. Yeah, Christos Solis looks like a really smart signing,
You guys
considering the price of
upgraded.
players.
You
Like, geez
upgraded
Louise.
Trossard to that. Come on.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I've seen Arsenal fans giving him the kind of the Alexis Sanchez comparison of just like always wants to make something happen, um, which you can kind of see the connection there, and to actually have some sort of threat on the left side now is going to be great for this team. Should open up Saka more, and it's looking like a good team as long as people can stay healthy. And there's still talk of Julian Alvarez. I don't think that'll happen, honestly, but
I saw that rumor come back into play today.
yeah, and he's been pining so hard for Barcelona. For the price that Atleti want, I don't think it makes sense for Arsenal to pay that just for him to constantly be trying to get to Barcelona. And Barcelona's not going to go out and pay to give Arsenal any profit in that. They're going to try and get the smallest fee they can. So I think while I think he can come into the team and certainly make it better, I just don't think it's worth all that extra nonsense. But I guess we'll see.
No, I agree with you there. I think your team is looking pretty nice right now.
Mhm.
You have pretty good depth. You can rotate a lot of players in and out, and you're missing your best defender.
Yeah.
Scary after seeing that first game. Again, it was Coventry. We don't know really much about them. I will say Coventry needs to be a lot better if they want to stay in the Premier League. But again, first match, jitters, first Premier League game for most of those players. To be honest, I don't recognize really anyone when you look at that lineup.
Yeah.
So, it was always going to be tough for them to do much here. For me, it just said, okay, Arsenal means business. They're missing / didn't get to play their biggest signing of the summer. And when's the next time Arsenal will drop points here? I don't know. I don't know.
Um,
I really don't want to bet against them
yeah.
until it finally happens. It could happen. I mean, it could happen in the next month. I mean, Chelsea looks solid.
Mhm.
Brighton's going to be tough. Sunderland's going to be tough. Uh, so yeah, we'll see. But again, good start.
Yeah, I
Just good
think
start.
it's, I think especially building off the community shields to do, kind of have 2 games back to back where it looked like Arsenal were ready. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like some of these teams where it's like still kind of a preseason hangover. I think it's good, and like, yeah, depth is there this season as long as people can stay healthy, as long as Arteta actually rotates some players, um, maybe more than even needed. Like, I think, Rice will be a key player and probably start a lot of games, but for how much he played in the last year and how short of a break he got in between World Cup and Premier League, I think at least first half of the season, I think they got to try and find him rest wherever they can. And I think you have the players and the depth to do that now in some of these games. So we'll see. But yeah, happy, good start. Um, I'm telling you, Saka's going to be on one this year. He's back. He got the new do. He's ready to go.
I don't blame you. I think he is. I'm honestly, I'm kicking myself right now, going, how is anyone going to beat this team this year? Again, just short sample size,
Yeah.
but I'll segue into Liverpool here. Wasn't having too much fun watching that game in bed for a majority of it. I told myself I will go to the living room if we draw when it was 2-1 for Newcastle at
Mm,
one point. But basically, the hesitation killed us. Gravenberch had 2 opportunities to shoot, and he didn't, and those both led to the Newcastle goals.
great counter.
So
Yeah.
great counters, but shit defending. Oh my gosh! I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw the great like tunnel vision clip of Newcastle driving down the pitch right before Willock scored, but it was like we were just like ricocheting off of the dribbler and not putting any
Yeah.
bodies on him. So that was poor. I'm sure that's going to be a big discussion. That physicality is going to be a focal point this year. I mean,
Mhm.
we take him out there, no goal is scored, right?
Yeah.
And then Elanga out sprinting Kirkez. Like, what are you going to do
Oof.
there? That is, and people were blaming Kirkez for a minute, and then they were like, okay, Elanga's really fast, fastest player in the
Yeah.
league. That is not on Kirkez there to even get close. I mean, he was close. He outran him for about 5 seconds, and then he just see ya.
Yeah.
So that wasn't awesome. I will say Gakpo scoring, it felt good, raised his price a little, but then you see the threads on Reddit of Liverpool going, do we want to sell Gakpo? And it's like, oh, we're going through this again of like, you
Yeah.
love him till you hate him. You hate him till you love him. What are we going to do here? And I just know that these games for Gakpo, it's just so hit or miss. If he goes to City, he'll probably do the exact same thing, have amazing games, and then just have shit
Mhm.
performances. Um, I'd rather him go to Tottenham, of course,
Yeah.
but this shouldn't come down to we need Gakpo to save us. It's all the other big guys in there that need to come in and score. Isak, not his best performance. He really should have been better.
Oof.
Um, you know,
Those fans were on him
they were
too.
on him. It would have silenced him. It really would
Yeah,
have.
absolutely. Yeah.
He needed to put some better shots on goal. But I will say, the passes Verts was making were fine. He just
Mhm.
was never getting the ball back.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to get those passes to those players in the final third, or when we're in the final third, get it back to Verts. That was my biggest complaint. Was Verts? I mean, we can look at the stats here. There's no way he gave the ball up that much in this game. I watched just his player highlights, and he looked fine.
Mhm.
So, you know, I don't want to call it first game jitters because, like, we should have been better here. It's pretty disappointing
Yeah.
the way we played, but I can see the potential. I loved the first half and the flow and the speed we were playing at, I will say.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, this looks nice. I can see what the game plan is here. It's just it's kind of like last year where like we're missing that final touch, that final
Yeah.
piece to secure it. And then you know what's funny is I was just never really even down to the last minute of that game, I was like, we're still going to find a way. Because again, those good teams just find, they just keep
Yeah,
pushing the ball into the box and good things will happen. And we do it against Newcastle more than
a
anyone.
lot.
I have a memory bank of all the times we've done this to them, from Ingamoa
Yeah.
to Nunez. It's almost inevitable that they're gonna screw up somehow. And
Hmm.
prime example, Szoboszlai shuts him up. We get our very, very lucky point and we move on. So I'm gonna look at this game as we didn't give up and we need to learn a lot from it. So it was going to
Yeah.
be on the list of worst losses to start the season. It was close. It was up there.
I mean, even if it was a loss, I don't think it really deserved to be there. I think we would have only placed it there because we expected so little from Newcastle.
True.
So, because I mean, they played well, and I think overall, yeah, Liverpool played well. You could see what they were trying to do. Just yeah, kind of missing that final piece, and like even yeah, when my brother and I were watching it, and we noticed the defenders just keep backing off, like no one wanted to take a step or just make a foul, whatever. Like it I think that'll come. You know, it's a little bit of a not a new back line, but there's just, you
Mm-hmm.
know, Jaquet's back there. He's new face. I think, I'll even say having Sabasly in the midfield compared to right back probably is just a little bit different dynamic that that whole right side is used to. So, um, yeah, I think this team will figure it out, and Areola can do that. And um, I think, yeah, just gotta figure out how to unlock Wirtz a little bit. Like he's got the talent, he's making the passes, he's finding the space, but I think it's like you said, he's not getting any return passing or second looks or um don't want to say any help, but it's sometimes feels like he's uh, at least in online fandom and media, I guess probably kind of due to his price tag, is he's almost expected to do like everything for this team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's where he's getting the ball. He's doing good in the possession. And then again, it's just not really finding his way back to him in that final third.
Yeah.
Who does that fall on? I don't really know. Again, Sabasly, I think, is always going to be like the true focal point of this team's attack.
Mhm.
And Wirtz is there to complement that and hopefully finish what Sabasly is setting up for him. Again, I'm not too worried about it. Again, they're saying we need a defensive mid. I don't know. If you look at our like heat map too, we're rarely playing defensively. So it's like, what
Yeah.
are we gonna do with defensive mid here? Doesn't really make too much sense. And Gravenberg can kind of play that position too. He doesn't want to. Everyone on this team wants to push up and attack. But when we can,
Yeah.
possess, 61% of the game, which honestly, a little lower than I thought it was going to be. But look at our shots, 27 shots. Like,
Yeah. And that's the thing is
they got to go in.
I mean, you still had 7 on target, so that's good, but yeah, it was just I think some of that like maybe not rust, but just not fully up to like full form match fitness. Where you're banging in shots left and right. It'll come. It'll be fine. I think this was if the only shock in this is that we didn't expect Newcastle to do anything like,
No.
and they showed up. So
Liverpool let them have their moment. They took advantage of it. And it was really just those two instances. Everything else was kind of fine. But Newcastle, I think, is going to beat my expectations if they play like this for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Time will tell, but so far I was like, okay, they could be a challenge for others. So Liverpool has Forest next, I believe. Yeah, it's a 4:30 a.m. game, so that one's gonna hurt. But I am going to do everything in my power to wake up Saturday morning because I'll have nothing to do the rest of the day. So
Okay, nice. Yeah.
and then Newcastle is up against definitely not West Brom. They got Tottenham. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I expect Tottenham to bounce back, but I also expect Newcastle to play just as good as they get against Liverpool with probably less mistakes.
Yeah, I think that'll be a game to definitely keep an eye on. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham certainly has something to prove, and I think Newcastle maybe doesn't have something to prove, but what will want to like show that they're going to hang around, they're going to be here. They're not this team that everyone thought was just going to fall away because no signings, new manager, everything that's been going on over the summer. So, yeah, I think that'll be a fun one. I mean, look, if Newcastle plays with the pace they were playing with and Tottenham comes out like they were playing against Brentford, it's another slaughter. So
Yikes.
time to wake up, Spurs.
Yeah, it'll. I don't know. Again, must watch. It was a must. Tottenham was a must
Yeah.
watch game this past weekend. It's gonna be a must watch again. Just because I need to see if they can do anything. I don't know. I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just jump in. If you're down, just jump into players here and kind of give our
Sure,
quick
yeah.
thoughts. We got a little more time to kill. Start with Cole Palmer. He looked pretty good today. Most fantasy points this week with 20 goal assists. Most successful dribbles so far to start the weekend, but he came off injured.
Yeah. You would hope it's nothing too big, just a little knock uncomfortable or something. I don't know. But um I think he certainly looked way more locked in than he maybe
Yeah,
ever did last season.
for sure. Well, he equaled his assist total. Isn't that crazy?
Well, there you go.
A minute in, Chad, into this season, he equaled his
Yeah.
assist total from last year. No, I agree. He looked good on the ball. He looked smooth. A couple of shots that he took where I was like, I think he wishes he had those back to retry. That's the one worry with him. I feel like he takes a lot of shots and they're just, I don't know. He gets a little not too ambitious. Like he really should put them in. He loses his technique on it or something.
Yeah.
He could have easily had 2 or 3 in this game. I believe it, but he looked good. I was surprised. The injury though, we'll see what that is. He was grabbing his calf like at the 70th, 80th minute, and then he got subbed off. I think the mid 80.
Maybe just got a little kick or something there, and
yeah, hard to say. And I tried doing a little research to see if there's any news about it yet. There isn't. So yeah, I hope he's not injured because I do think he's a big driving force for Chelsea. But overall, Chelsea looked pretty decent. I think a goalkeeper change is needed. What about you?
God, yeah. I mean, we've been saying it, I feel like, for 3 seasons now, but it is so strange that Chelsea will spend like any amount of money anywhere on that pitch except the keeper.
I don't get it either.
Like they flew so high with Courtois and they don't want to get back there. They're just like, well, this guy's good enough. But then, it's just we know what Sanchez is about. We know he can make a handful of good saves here and there. He can have good games, but I think more often than not, he's found out of position or not making the save that he should be making, or just like getting bullied off the ball on a corner or something. So why he's still the number one, I don't know. I think, yeah, like all the media and everything's been saying if Emmy's available, go for Emmy, right? Like he knows the league. He'll take the pay raise. He wants out of Villa. He thought he was going to United last season, and okay, well, he didn't get United, but you can get Chelsea. I think he would take it still. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's their biggest hole. Defense, I think, as a back line was a little bit suspect, but I kind of got to give them a little bit of pass with, Alonso coming in, so new formation, all that. So we'll see. But
What happened to Caicedo today?
I don't know. I didn't hear that he was injured or anything.
Couldn't find anything.
Yeah, he's not on that list either there. I have no idea. He should have been there by all accounts, but I guess there's obviously something going on.
Yeah, I was surprised not to see him in the lineup, the bench, nothing. So don't know what happened there. Morgan Rogers, nice start for him. Goal in his debut. And, Pedro kind of doing nice things too. We'll see, though, if this can stay consistent. Great attacking three. It's really important. I think they all score. But can they keep it on for the rest of the season? Then whatever they're going to do with Enzo, can they find a replacement there?
Yeah.
Time will tell. Kind of want to talk about Holland really quick and what City is going to do with that, because, City was down that whole game against Bournemouth. They bring on Cherky. Finds a way to get it done.
Finds a way.
But it was very unorthodox for what City has usually been doing, which is finding Holland and letting him score. And
yeah,
I didn't check to see how many touches Holland had. I am curious.
26.
So not a terrible usage. I feel like that's pretty average for him. And he had 5 shots, I believe, 2 on target.
Mm-hmm.
So, new haircut. I know. Is
it's
that people were like, what are Mo Salah's stats post haircut? Right. And how do we compare this to Holland? He had a really good season and then he kind of dropped off. So are we going to see a really good season here before the drop off, or this drop off already happened? Plus, this man was cooking in the World Cup. Is this like post World Cup exhaustion where he's going to take it easy? I could see that too.
I mean, we know this City team, it's not under Pep anymore, but we know they can start pretty slow and then ramp up, and then it's just full train ahead. But I don't know. I think a lot of it is just down to his supporting cast right now. They're still trying to figure out this creative player role. I think it's got to be Cherky. I know he's a little more selfish than Maresca probably wants for that role, but the dude came in and got 2 assists in 20 minutes or something.
Sweet passes too. He's really nice.
He's got it. So I think you got to put him in that team, get him working with Holland. Semenyo's, I think, fine. Foden on the wing instead of Doku. I think you'd probably take Doku normally, but I guess injured. I don't know. I don't see anything.
He didn't play, right? Yeah, no.
Didn't play. I think Holland will be fine. Good amount of touches for what he does normally. Got the shots off. Had some good looks. I think Bournemouth is just kind of, even though they got the new manager, kind of picking up where they left off of just being pretty solid. So close to taking the win here, which would have loved that start for City, but I think I don't doubt Holland. He'll show up at some point. It'll just be, will he have to kind of take everything on himself and, start his Harry Kane arc of dropping back and driving the ball forward
possible.
himself? Or...
It's possible. Not his game, but you can always. He's only 20? Is he 26?
6, I think. Yeah.
So got a long career. You can always change your game.
Yeah.
For whatever City's going to do. So City's next game, they are up against Crystal Palace. See what Palace can do there. I'm not expecting too much. And then we got Bournemouth going against Everton. So Everton came out with a victory, a very quiet victory that no one really paid attention to. I expect Bournemouth to come in there and probably handle business to get some points on the board. But just interesting player I kind of wanted to bring up. Anything to say about Everton?
Not particularly, but I mean, I think I think this is going to be their season of just quiet, whether that's getting wins or draws, but I don't think they're going to make a lot of big moves or big highlights. I think it's just going to be try and be very straightforward and just get the ball, put it in the net. That's all we're going to do.
I mean, if you can keep it simple, that will win you games. It'll be
Mhm.
interesting though. Say they go on this little run where they're putting up, solid games and gaining points. Do they then try to make a move for someone bigger? Say wintertime. Everton's
I
just not
think,
that team that does. So it's a weird thing to kind of
yeah,
contemplate.
I think they're kind of just feels like they're a little bit confused of what they want to do. Like, I think their only mission for so long was just like survive in the Premier League, and they've you know been I think better in past few years of ending at more mid table than low table. Um, so I think it's time to try and figure out what's your next step. Do you want to just be a mid-table team and just you're always in Premier League, which is great, or do you want to try and get back up there and get back into Europa and have these like actual like good contests with Liverpool and even try and place higher than Liverpool sometimes. I would think that's the way you want to go, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like David Moyes, but he's probably not the one to take you forward to that stage. You got Tarkowski, who's solid, but 33 and already doesn't really have the pace that this league is requiring now. So I think you probably should start taking a look at moving him out,
Yeah.
or at least rotating him out more. Yeah, again, fine. They did what they needed to do, but I think that'll be it.
I think people forget Everton is one of the original Premier League
Yeah.
teams too. The only few to not get relegated or bounced out.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't utilize that more to, I guess, like find better investors along the way of like we're like the OG Premier League
Mm-hmm.
team. Like we have this history that you can sell and whatever and build up again, but no, they're just kind of float along.
Content with being mediocre as long as
Yeah.
it keeps them in the Prem. Their choice. Their
Yeah.
choice. But yeah, no. So just to speak on fantasy, no one picking Pickford out of every team is fascinating to me,
Yeah, I feel like he's been in every league for us.
and he's been the top goalkeeper for a majority of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
again, we're gonna pay close attention to him and the stats. I mean, solid start. He's
yeah,
top
absolutely.
10 to start week 1. Um, and then yeah, pick'ems too. Have you checked the pick'ems for next week? Have you cycled through
Not
them at
yet.
all?
No, not yet. I looked today to see where I was at, and I think I got like one right for this first week. So
Oh, down at 1.
I'm in a hole already. But I think if I can
You got 2.
remember to do it every week. Oh, nice, nice. If I can remember to do it every week, I think I can work my way back up.
Long season. It's a
Yeah.
marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, this week is going to be tricky. I think I'm not picking Chelsea Brighton. There's no way.
No.
Not touching that one. Uh, United Ipswich, no way. Tottenham Newcastle, no way. Coventry Hull, fascinating game. I want to go with Hull, but I'm really not sure if we just saw a fluke Coventry going against Arsenal. And then I'm not touching Sunderland Fulham either because two teams who took a loss. I assume Sunderland's going to be good, but Fulham didn't play terribly here, and they're going to have their
much better,
and they're going to have Anderson back, their captain, which they desperately needed. If they would have had him instead today, I think we could be having a different conversation. Hard to say, but
yeah, I mean they certainly missed him. Like I don't even know who that other guy was, but
yeah, irrelevant.
Yeah, like Sammy said, he was bad back there. Real bad.
It was rough. It was a little rough. Well, I got nothing more to really say. I think that was a solid week 1 take. We're hitting the hour mark here. Anything else to add?
I think that's pretty much it. Like, I like that we got some surprises, some shock and awe already.
Yep.
Let's let it continue. I mean, look, Palace has done some things against City before. I don't know if this Palace team can do it, but why not? Give it a go.
If we need a storyline this weekend, it's either going to be a United loss against Ipswich or a Palace City draw. Even would be
Yeah.
fascinating. I think those are the two really big upsets. Aston Villa, if you want to show up against Arsenal, I ain't mad about it. I'm not going to be banking on it, but I won't be mad. I think you're going to be just fine. So, we'll probably release a little newsletter too for week 1 because there's the transfer situation. Ollie Watkins, weird stuff could happen. But good showing for week 1 so far in everyone in fantasy and pick'ems. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. With that, Hooligans pitch. We're out. Peace.